Ladies and gentlemen, to the Great British Beer Festival, Castle Rock, champion beer of Britain for Harvest Pale. If you'd like to ask questions, I will invite you to ask a question, show your hand, and we'll direct them to one of the people. We have Chris Holmes, owner, chairman of Castle Rock Brewery. We have
Adrian,
who is the head brewer, and
Colin, I'm the commercial director.
Okay. So, anybody like to ask a question? Young lady in the front there.
Chris, what effect do you think winning Champion Beer of Britain is going to have in business?
I've got a suspicion it might increase the demand for our We're already at capacity on our existing brewery. We've been at capacity for 18 months. There's a new brew house should be opening in 2 weeks' time, coincidentally. It just seemed a very, very fortunate Jungian synchronicity going on here. And fortunately, so in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, we should be able to satisfy the demand that's out there, hopefully.
Any more questions? Catching up.
Do you think being a SEBA member has helped?
I don't think it's helped us win this award. I mean, we think SEBA is a wonderful organisation that has been the best representative in the industry for the small and medium-sized brewer, and obviously we get lots of support and help from it. But to be perfectly honest, it's all down to this gentleman on my right, Adrian, who's the brewer. This is the person that makes it. This is the person that started working for us 4 years ago, and over the last 4 years has improved the quality, the standards, and everything to do with that brew. It's down to Adrian.
Chris, a lot of past winners have sort of used the award to sort of raise their game, and then they've been kind of subsumed by the demand and they've fallen back a bit. I mean, do you think that you'll be able to sort of take this forward with the new brew house and actually get more coverage with the beer and with also other Castle Rock brewers?
Obviously, we will be having some very serious meetings and discussions tomorrow morning. I don't think we'll be having serious discussions this evening. But we will obviously have to really look very carefully at where we are and not get carried away, not get stupid about it, but gradually build the business slowly to make sure that we can maintain the consistency of quality of product throughout. Because people have made mistakes in the past where they've gone for mega growth and then quality and consistency has suffered. Would you agree with that?
It can do, but as I say, I think the way we're looking, I mean, we were looking at expanding the brewery prior to this happening, obviously. The way we're looking at it during that expansion is to maintain the quality that we're currently achieving on the plant, and the setup in the new brewery should enable us to do that. Probably easier than we're currently able to do on our existing plant. So as Chris says, I don't think we're good. Well, hopefully we're not going to lose our heads over it and just continue what we've always tried to do, which is pay attention to detail in terms of the quality of the raw ingredients and the parameters of the process that we can control. And we're certainly not going to get any laxer on that, given that demand has increased.
Are you surprised? I mean, sorry, just an add-on, an adjunct. Are you surprised by this week?
I'd say to that we're sort of swept away. We know we brew good beer and we're confident in our ability. We enjoy drinking our beer, and we talk to our customers who drink in our pubs, and we talk to our free trade customers who talk to their customers. They enjoy drinking our beer. So we're not surprised that our beer is good enough to win, but we didn't expect to win. You can't plan a business on trying to think you're going to win awards. We don't brew beer to win awards. We brew beer for people who drink our beer every day.
Gentlemen in blue.
I was going to ask, how much beer do you currently sell, and how much do you expect that to increase after this award?
Our current capacity of our brewer at the moment is 110 brewers' barrels a week, and the new plant that's already sitting there waiting and raring to go can produce 360 barrels a week. So we were already planning to treble our production. We'll now wait and see what happens.
I just add to that we were expecting to brew one of our other permanent beers on Friday, and we'll be brewing Harvest Pale on Friday.
Gentlemen, James Wilmore from the Publican. It's described in the notes as a blonde beer. Do you see that as any sort of indication of a trend towards sort of lighter beers, or are you any concerns that sort of CAMRA purists might be surprised at blonde beers on the champion beer?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, you've got to remember that we have pubs as well. We've got 20 odd pubs, and so we're very close to the marketplace. So we noticed probably as much as 15 years ago, the trend started with particular brands. You know, we're talking about beers like Exmoor Cold, Duker's IPA, which of course has won this as well. That trend was starting to happen. Fashions happen in all sorts of industries, but this was a fashion that really wasn't led by anyone. It was the customers that really demanded these lighter looking, more citrusy, flowery beers, and we have followed that. So when this beer was originally designed, it was certainly aimed at that particular sector of the market, because we didn't have a beer that was less than 4%, that was pale, citrusy, and it's proved to be a very, very wise decision.
Gentleman there.
Thank you. Kevin Williams, Stinger Report. You said you were ramping up production. You didn't know about the win. What led you to consider ramping up production?
It's really driven by selling everything that we can make, and we've been doing that for a year ago. We had to make a decision to expand. We've made that decision, and we've invested. It's been a lot of hard work getting that. In many ways, we're quite disappointed that it should have already been open. We have things, and this would have been, wouldn't have been great if that new brewery had been open last week. We know we're in for a very sort of 2-week period of problems, or having to say, sorry, you can't have any beer. Come middle of August, 1st of September, then we won't have a problem with that.
You're going to be busy now?
We're going to be busy. We've got lots of phone calls to make back to the office, and we mentioned rationing of beers before because we were selling more than we can make, or have demand for more than we can make. That rationing is going to continue for 2 weeks. We will have to make decisions of who can have beer and who can't for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, then everybody who is interested in drinking our beer Harvest Pale will be able to.
But I should point out that we'll not be putting the price up.
Leave that to the extra.
Nigel Evans mentioned in his speech that he feels that governments see beer as a bit of a whipping boy in terms of tax. Have you got any hope that this new coalition government will treat beer in a fairer way in terms of duty?
We can only hope. I mean, I think there's quite a few of us now that feel that perhaps beer in pubs should have preferential treatment against, say, beer and packaged products in supermarkets. Obviously, one of the areas this is the biggest form of competition for us with our pubs and our draft beer is extremely cheap beer in supermarkets. And perhaps there is now scope to give us preferential treatment against that particular end. But sometimes these processes with politicians take a long time. It takes a lot of lobbying, a long time. CAMRA have been wonderful on this, CBRA have been great, but it takes a long time to get through to the politicians. But I do think that some of the politicians are now starting to realise this, because the pub is so important. We know that because we run pubs, but all the people represented in the beer festival today need the success of public houses, because it's the pubs that sell this sort of beer, not supermarkets.
But does it frustrate you when you see the sort of pile and wine attitude at the supermarket stock?
Of course it does.
Yeah.
It's massively frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is set our stall out in our pubs to provide good a quality and value as we can. But we are confronted by situations where at times they are selling at below cost. We know they are.
Just wanted to ask what you think makes this beer particularly special.
I think I'll hand over to
Yep.
This is where I do all the humility stuff. In in terms of the beer itself, I think it would appeal to quite a wide range of drinkers. There's flavour there. There's definitely flavour. It's not one of these sort of insipid beers. You definitely get flavour out of it. It's not so challenging as to put a large section of people off, but there's sufficient flavour to actually interest people and give the beer some character, I think. And it's easy drinking. It's an easy drinking, characterful beer for its strength. I think that's its secret. And there are a lot of beers out there like that. And you know, as I say, I'm actually honoured to receive this award. I'm sure there are lots of beers out there that could equally be up for this award. But that's, I think, the secret is its success. That's why it's popular. It's easy drinking, character beer.
Can I just add to that? This is a beer that we've found success of drawing lager drinkers towards